Hello lovelies, today I'm going to be sharing with you my Traveler's Notebook setup for 2024. If you guys are new here, I currently switched from a Hobonichi Cousin that was no longer serving me to having everything inside this one TN. And let me move this pen aside so you can see how compact this little system is now. I only have 3 inserts in here with the exception of the folder for now, and that's only because I realized that the little superior labor clip here was actually rubbing into my Jiyu monthly, and I only have this little folder here as a buffer for now until I figure out how to either fix the problem or maybe rearrange some of the inserts. I don't really have a need for this folder, but it is pretty cute and it holds my pencil board, some blotting paper, and some PET tape pieces. I also like how this folder has the little Traveler's Notebook PET stickers in it, and I feel like it's so cute. In the back of the folder, I have this little tiny pocket that holds a cute business card. I think this is from Ivy Snow. For my first insert, I have a very minimal cover that just says a record to leave behind. I wanted to keep this space feeling clutter-free. The inside cover I did decorate with some pieces from the Baum-Kuchen packaging and also this little 2024. My faith goals and my mood board are exactly the same as what I had in the Cousin, with the exception of this little verse that a friend reminded me of. So because I had to redo this, I decided to add this verse in here to think about for the rest of the year. If you guys are interested in seeing my faith goals and a deeper look at some of the components inside this current setup, I will link down below my initial Cousin setup videos. Now, this page is completely new. The Jiyu monthly had this open-ended space, which I felt was perfect for goal setting, and I decided to focus on just 2 goals a month and break them down further into quarterly goals and even further into monthly goals. So now I have no excuse. The next page is my Bible reading plan, and again, this is the same as the Hobonichi Cousin. I backlogged January because I felt like it would be weird to just have February to December in here, and I only did the first 6 months for now, and I'll go back in probably tomorrow and fill in the rest of the year. So far, this is how I'm thinking of setting up my monthly pages. I'm thinking of using these monthly pages for social media and appointments, and in the bottom portion add my God moments, and down here I'll have the monthly highlights and some notes. And here you'll recognize this little collage. I actually took some of the collages I had already done in my Cousin and sort of recycled them since I'm no longer using the Cousin. I did decorate the month of March in advance in these inserts. I am thinking about keeping this kind of minimal with my decoration since I do have a slightly smaller space between the days. But all in all, I think this will work perfectly, especially since I write with finer pens and I still have a ton of space in the bottom for those monthly highlights. And I do also have some space on the side if I wanted to write down any video ideas like I did in my Hobonichi Cousin. As you can see here, I sat down and went ahead and actually numbered each month, and let me tell you how nervous I was. I made a couple mistakes, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Now, what I really like about this Jiyu is the fact that it has pages in the back, and it's kind of like a little half insert back here, and I'm going to be using this for collections and also any memorable moments for the year. This first one is a bucket list. As you guys know, I like to do a mini bucket list in the beginning of the month, but I figured I could just do a bucket list for the whole year, and I gave myself some space in the back, and also this sticker in the front is a washi sticker, so I could also just remove it if I needed more space, but I'm thinking about just doing an entire year bucket list instead anyway. Back here is going to be mini reviews of the books that I'm going to read. I'm going to include a teeny photo of the book cover, my rating, and a little review of what I liked or didn't like about the book. And I'm planning on reading about 6 books this year. I know it sounds tiny, but the books that I have in mind are huge books, so I feel like I have enough space for that here. And my favorite is the movies and shows. I watch a ton of movies, so I had to add this in here as well, and I decorated them very similar to what I had in the Hobonichi. Now for the rest of this insert, here I'm going to be recording super special moments like trips or any special outings and birthdays that I've had with my family. I usually do this in a separate insert, but since I do have the space in this monthly insert, I feel like it's perfect to add in here. I'm going to fill the back of this with pictures and pieces of ephemera, anything that is just super special. And since this is original Tomoe River paper, it's super thin and has a ton of pages. The last page is my pen test page, and it feels so good to be in original TRP. Back here is just a little collage reminder that life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful, and I like putting these little collages in blank spaces because sometimes when I open the book I end up in the last page and I want to look at something pretty whenever I flip this TN open. And I have this simple moon inspired deco here, just keeping it clean and simple. This inside cover, you might recognize this other mini collage. I had it for one of my February weekly pages in my Hobonichi, but I loved it so much and it matched perfectly with the Baum-Kuchen packaging stickers. And this first page is super minimal, and it is just the perfect image of how I like to start my day, with some coffee and peace and silence. For my weekly, I had to combine both daily and weekly section in my Hobonichi Cousin. Here I'm just going to create a mini column and use this to track my meals. Since I pretty much eat the same thing every day, I kind of have everything abbreviated, so it works perfect for me. And for the rest of the space, I'm going to use it for a summary of my top moments during the day. I love doing bullet points of anything memorable, so I feel like this space is the perfect size for what I need right now. I also have the top portion to include any bits of ephemera or any visual reminders or photos of that week, which is a space that I didn't have in my Hobonichi Cousin. And here I'm just gonna decorate these super lightly, really allow the ephemera to take over. And I'm thinking about reserving a small space for any notes that I want to have for the rest of the week. We'll see how it goes. But I'll quickly flip through the deco that I have for the month of March. I have a bunch of transfer stickers that I need to get rid of, so I just layered some of them here just to keep everything nice and thin for now, even though I know I'm going to be bulking this up with ephemera. I thought about including the vertical insert they already have from Traveler's company, but I was okay with getting rid of that, and I also do still have that insert if I want to add it in. I modified my traveler's notebook to hold up to 4 inserts at a time. And if you would like to see a video of how I modify my insert, I will also link that down below. But I'm really happy that I can have an entire year of weekly inserts in here. If I had known that these inserts existed, I would have purchased this from the beginning. Considering how slim it is and how nice it is to have all these memories in one insert, I think it's really cool how Baum-Kuchen designed these inserts. And back here, I have this tiny deco that says the happiest moment, and another little simple sticker just to have something pretty to look at. Here I have this small piece of handmade paper just so I can see the design in the front of this little folder. I cut up this folder to become a sort of dashboard because I really love the folder designs. And inside this folder is my prayer insert, and I really need to add a volume 1 to this, but keeping everything cohesive, I have this cover decorated very plainly, and the inside cover has another recycled collage from an insert that I barely used, and in here I can only hold 2 months at a time. And for my index, I'm going to use this for my God moments at a glance. And if you guys don't remember me talking about my God moments, these are moments where I see God working in my life, and that can be with anything from a prayer answered to a sign, anything that lets me know that He is there and He is with me. And the reason why I am adding this to these pages as well as my monthly pages is because I want to see how God was there for me throughout the entire year, and I also want to see them at a glance on these prayer pages. It's very cool and surprising to see how God really is working through so many details of your life. Every day God reveals Himself in some way, and it's cool to have a record of that. For the month of March, I'm actually going to be working through a psalm. So I intend to continue on with my memory verses, and the reason why I chose these verses for the month of March is because, as you know, March is my birth month, and I wanted verses that reminded me that God knows my name and knows exactly who I am. So I really wanted to memorize Psalm 139, and I'm going to read you the parts that I'm going to be writing down because this is a longer psalm, but I really liked these verses, and let me tell you, David knows how to spit some bars. Like, these are the deepest lines. I'm going to start with verse 9 and go all the way down to verse 18. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, and the light about me be night, even the darkness is not dark to you. The night is bright as the day, for darkness is as light with you. For you formed my inward parts, you knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, my soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there were none of them. How precious to me are your thoughts, O God! How vast is the sum of them! If I could count them, they are more than the sand. I awake and I am still with you. I love this psalm. I don't know, it just gives me the feels, and I feel like it's just it's so perfect. Just the poetry of it and how beautifully this is written. These are the very thoughts that I could never eloquently express, and I really want to memorize them. I feel like these verses specifically should be on my wall or something, and I think I'm gonna do some type of painting or something to put it up there because I really love this psalm. Moving on, there's not much left, but in the back here I have a little surprise sticker and another one behind this little folder, and I have my cards in the back pocket. Like I've mentioned before, I intend to take this with me everywhere and have this as my wallet as well. As far as the front cover, I'll probably get rid of that once I figure out the little clip situation, but I'm super happy with how this setup turned out. It is a little bit different from the Hobonichi Cousin, but I do have my entire year in 2 super skinny inserts, which I love. And as far as the prayers, I will have my God moments in my yearly, so it's not too bad. And I really don't mind switching out the notebooks to these. I will be using this system for the rest of the year, as I don't intend to continue on with the Hobonichi system. I am really happy with how this setup turned out, and I am happier now that I can actually take this with me. Before, I felt like the A5 size was just a little too big to carry around, and this is such a nice like handheld size that I don't mind carrying this with me at all. All in all, the Traveler's Notebook has about the same thickness as my Hobonichi Cousin, but it is a slimmer profile that's easy to put into any bag. I hope you guys enjoyed this Traveler's Notebook setup, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing down below and liking the video if you are interested in more Traveler's Notebook content. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.